What's going on, guys? I got another video for you. I'm going to talk about my Telecaster here. And based on the previous videos that I've made, I'm not totally sure if I should be using the word mod or not. Um, I use the word mod kind of freely just to talk about modifications I make to my guitar, but I do want to talk about a couple different things. One being this Hipshot B-bender that I have on here, another being this Warmoth neck that I got on here that's kind of custom, and then, you know, some other fun stuff. I did a few things to the electronics. So maybe let's start with the electronics because that's the most simple. I mean, all I really did was add a booster switch. It's that same EMG booster switch that's in my SG, the little baritone SG, and then I just flipped the electronics panel so that the pickup switch is in the back. And the reason why I did that is because I like the volume being up front, and for some reason when this pickup switch and the tone, well, it's a volume when it's flipped around, but when they're right next to each other, when I would change pickups, I would always end up kind of moving my volume down, and it just became a hassle on stage. I just really didn't like accidentally hitting rolling down my volume. So I flipped it around, and I don't really have that problem anymore. And if I do kind of roll it back a little bit, it's just my tone, just a little bit, which is not as big of a deal to me as volume. So that's more of like a ease of life thing, mainly for gigging and stuff. So that's one thing. And I had to get a battery, a 9-volt battery routed in the back here. So I would definitely put that in the actual modification territory because it kind of had to be routed out and blah blah. If you're wondering why there's some distress on this thing, it's because I'm the type of person that I like to tinker with stuff, and I know this might be controversial, but it's my own instrument and I just do it sometimes out of just honestly frustration. And this Telecaster was really heavy, and it was not giving me the sustain I wanted, and I just felt like it had too much mass. And I don't have a fancy drill press or anything like that, so I literally just took it to an angle grinder, just trying to shave off mass. And I know that may make some people angry, but that's what I did. Does it look good? Not really. Did it help? Probably not. But does it really bother me? Not really. And I think 30 years from now, when I'm in my 60s, I'll be able to look back and have a laugh on it. And so I think that's what matters. But let me show you what it sounds like. So this is just a stock player Telecaster, stock pickups, Mexican made. So here's the bridge. And that's with the booster on. So with the booster off, on, just got more presence, and it's just a little brighter, a little bit louder, more HD sounding. Here's the middle. And then here's the neck. Whoops. All right, there's that. Let's talk about the B-bender. This is the Hipshot B-bender, and it came with this mechanism to drop the E to the D, but I don't really use it, so I kind of took it off. So it's just the B-bender, and all you have to do is drill 2 holes right around your strap button, and it kind of just sits on here. You drill the two holes, and then you screw in your strap button where it normally goes, and it kind of just like clamps on to the body of the guitar, and then the B string goes over the saddle and then down into this little, hole that allows this lever to press down on the B string. So I'm using my hip to use this little lever to bend the B string. Yeah, stuff like that. And I'll talk more about this in a sec. The only other thing that I did to this Telecaster that's kind of fun is this is a custom Warmoth neck, roasted maple, stainless steel frets, and there's this compensated nut. I don't know if we can get the camera to focus. There's a compensated nut in here. And when I first got this neck, I actually got it on my Strat first. I didn't know if it was like a gimmick or what, and I think this Telecaster is a less stable instrument than my Strat, but I definitely think they work. I'm kind of sold on them. I kind of want to put them on all my guitars from this point on. I just have better tuning stability. Really, the Strat is like the most stable guitar I've ever played ever, and I'm so stoked on it. This thing's more of a kicking mule. I have a harder time really dialing this thing in, and it is worth mentioning that the break angle isn't really steep enough on the B string for when I'm bending close to the bridge. It sometimes moves a little bit, and I don't have enough of a break angle to get the tension to pull down on it to get sustain. I think the tall frets, the tall stainless steel frets help a lot, but it's not ideal. But I can use the B-bender and get more sustain, so it's not that big of a deal. And I'd rather have the B-bender in here and sacrifice that. I'm sure a luthier could probably make it work somehow, but I'm not that kinesthetically intelligent enough to make it work. I'm just a guitar player. So I guess the only other thing that we could talk about with this thing is I can show you guys some licks, or just some important things. So if you do if you know the cage system, if you know the A shape, right, and you do a sus chord and you get rid of the, sorry, I don't know music theory too well, but if you get rid of this note on the B string, you can bend up into it. So if you're doing the major scale 1, 2, 3, you can bend the 2 to the 3, and then you can also do 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 to the 5. Those are both really, really good ones. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5 to the 6. Those interval bends are really, really nice. So this is what that sounds like. So the first one, and then you can add some action on the E string up here. Whoop. Or sharp that note on the E string to get a more dominant sound. Right? Or what I was saying for the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 to 5, you can do a lick like this. And you're keeping this thing actuated the whole time. And then you release. You kind of get that little chicken picking, boom, right? And then you can bend up from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 6. I think that's one of the secrets too about doing the B-bender is when you bend on the B, you hold it and do notes on the top E string and then bend back down, you know? Like that. I'll just play over like a little backing track real quick just so you can hear more of like what it sounds like in context, and I'll wrap this video up. These go by really quick. Whatever, I gotta find what key we're in here.